and I think George wins by decision.
I don't think GSP stands a chance. I think he's frail. I think he's small.
Oh,
I think he's more of a 155-pounder than anything. He's going to get crushed.
GSP versus Bisping. I'm a big GSP fan. He's one of my favorite fighters all time. So I root for him, but I think he's going to have a hard time with Bisping, for sure.
I mean, if I was to give you a prediction, I feel like maybe that's what you were asking me. I would tell you George. I get these wrong a lot. I do feel that I am right, though. I do feel that come next week when we talk about it, I won't be embarrassed when I make the claim George isn't getting his ass kicked. I don't suggest to you Bisping's getting his ass kicked. I suggest to you we have a very good contest here.
Bisping, GSP, who I have. Bisping, I hope he knocks GSP out, but GSP's wrestling is really good. I just hope Bisping's wrestling a lot. I want to see Bisping knock out GSP.
I'm not even on a point where I'm trying to not make anybody mad. It's just really hard to say. I think that the size advantage of Bisping and his volume, his pressure, and not only that, his ability to take a punch is going to keep him in the fight. I think George St. Pierre is a more skilled martial artist overall. I think he might not punch with as much volume as Bisping, but I think he's tough. He's shown, he was in a fight with Carlos Condit, nearly got finished with a kick, got his bearings down, finished the fight on strong. So these guys are both shown to be tough. His timing is going to be better. He's going to be able to take Bisping down. Bisping's obviously trying to play on the mental edge. You just want to take me down. Kind of use a reverse psychology to try to get him to, to stand up and bang with him.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to say, is the weight advantage going to play in effect for Bisping, making him more difficult to take down? Is the volume going to play in effect? It's very hard. So it's a toss-up to me.
Bisping or GSP? I've got to go with Bisping. He's British, so I've got to stick with the British.
It's a hard one for me to pick. Well, there's a lot of question marks. Number one, GSP's been out for like 4 years, so we don't know what GSP's coming back. He's coming back in a weight class above the weight class that he was, fighting in forever.
Yeah.
Going against a bigger guy, he really did win a lot of his fights based on strength and wrestling.
Ooh.
And now he's going against a bigger guy. Is he going to be able to do that? I mean, honestly, if I had to pick and put all my money, I'd probably say Bisping. But
that's your pick.
But I'm a Fox analyst for this fight.
Oh, so you have to be.
No. So I watched like a fight or two.
fence.
I watched a fight or two of Bisping recently, and I saw his fight with Tim Kennedy. And Tim Kennedy, I think, is a bigger, stronger wrestler than GSP. But he was able to get to that front leg pretty easy and walk him to the cage and get takedowns. GSP can do that. So I could kind of see both ways a little bit. But I would have to put my money on Bisping.
And Vandenberg, GSP will win. I think so too. Well, you know what? I think he's going to do pretty well because he's got amazing takedowns, and it's not about his takedowns only, it's about his timing, and stopping his timing is the hard part. And no matter who you are, Bisping, or if you're heavier or whatever, George brought in a lot of heavier guys for this training camp, and he was able to take them down just as easily as he take down guys who are 170. It has nothing to do with power, it has to do with GSP's timing. I feel like that's what a lot of people don't understand about GSP's takedown success, is that it's a timing issue, not a takedown skill or not a power issue. It's about timing, and no matter how big the guy is, if you time him right, he's going to go down easy. So that's why I think he's got an advantage. And Bisping, he's knocked guys out in his weight class, and GSP is a smaller guy, of course. Like you say, maybe even 2 weight classes smaller. So there's a chance that GSP is, he might get hurt in there, and that's a risk he's willing to take. But if he takes him down, doesn't matter how much bigger Bisping is, because GSP's the better grappler.
Yes, it's for the belt, but I think he does like this style matchup. And I think he likes this style matchup because Bisping does have a very bouncy kind of in and out striking game. And there's no one in the game who reads footwork better than a George St. Pierre. His distance control, his ability to read when you're going to come in is what allows him to have such an impeccable reactive takedown. He keeps you on the outside with that long reach. George has a very long reach, a very good jab. He utilizes it to the fullest, gets you to come in, and the way that Michael comes in, I think will allow him to hit those takedowns. The question is, can he do it for 25 minutes? I think George can certainly do it for 15 minutes. The fight gets riskier as it goes on. One thing we know about Michael Bisping, he's going to have to be asleep or you're going to have to do something to threaten a limb before he's going to keep coming at you, basically. Okay, you have to put this guy out. Michael Bisping will keep pursuing that knockout every single second of every round. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get it. I think he can. I think it's a dangerous fight for George St. Pierre. I hate that I have to pick this fight because I really like both these guys. George St. Pierre, a former training partner. I work with Michael Bisping on a regular basis. Have so much respect for both of these men. But I'm going to have to go with a decision win here for George St. Pierre.